How do I fly in your game? I don't know, just fly like Iron Man.
Yeah, yeah. How would you fly if you were Iron Man?
Exactly.
That's so cool. Hey everybody, welcome back. Justin here. I am joined by Ryan Payton and Ryan Darcy from Camouflage, and we're taking a look today at Marvel's Iron Man VR. Ryans, thank you for joining.
Yes, not confusing at all.
Not at all.
Two Ryans.
I will. Can we get like a counter in the corner of the screen to track how many times we get mixed up and the wrong Ryan answers a question or something? So yeah, I'm not gonna get too into like specific questions and everything up front. I think I want to start by just taking off here. Let's get into this. Let's become Iron Man here, and maybe either Ryan, if you can just kind of talk us through what we're seeing, what we're experiencing, and what players can experience for themselves when they download this demo.
Yeah. So at the very beginning of the demo, you're actually getting the very beginning of the full game here, which is where players learn how to fly.
Nice.
They're Tony Stark. They're in their new Impulse armor suit, and yeah, we've been working a lot on this tutorial, but here we go. Ryan Darcy, let's take off.
Okay. Mark III test.
How cool was that? Oh,
Starting with maneuvering thrusters. Hands by my sides. Palms back.
So he's kind of talking you through how to fly as Iron Man, because it's not as simple as just pressing a button or just like instantly levitating. You have to be Iron Man. You have to use these repulsors, these hand-mounted repulsors, to kind of control your flight.
Exactly. Yeah. Coming from the PlayStation Move controllers, you hold them in your hands. You pull the triggers back, and the thrusters are coming out of your palms, just like Iron Man, right? So that's what we typically tell people when they ask, like, how do I fly in your game? I don't know, just fly like Iron Man.
Yeah, yeah. How would you fly if you were Iron Man?
Exactly.
That's so cool. Oh man, how is that immediately when you were starting to begin work on this game? Is that immediately like, well, that's how flight's going to work, or were there other options, or were there other flight schemes that you looked at before?
When we started this game over 3 years ago with Troy Johnson, the lead engineer on the game, he on the gameplay side, that was the first thing he tried. He's like, hey, if we're gonna go pitch Marvel and do an Iron Man VR game, it would make sense for the thrusters to come out of your palms. Let's just go try it. And we never thought it would work as good as it did. And it's a miracle because prototypes typically don't go that well. I want to say within the first 48 hours, we thought, we have some magic here.
That's awesome. Yeah, and that makes for some really interesting combat situations later in the demo as well. We're seeing some of that here with the repulsor blasts. Is that the right term for
exactly.
that?
Yeah, and so, back to that PlayStation Move controller, you hold it down, you're pulling the triggers when you want to fly forward, but when you want to shoot, just like Ryan Darcy's doing right now, you extend them out and face them up like kind of horizontal, right? So the shots of the repulsor blast are coming out of your palms.
Nice. Nice. And it looked like when he was kind of hovering over those, it looked like there was just a little bit of assist going on there to make sure that it feels good.
Oh,
right?
yeah, we're cheating all over the place here. Yeah, it looks all really natural, but yeah, under the hood, lots of different aim assists, flight assists, these invisible bumpers, all these areas and amazing tech that the team built to make sure that it's as comfortable as possible while you're being Iron Man.
I feel like that's kind of that's a motif that we've seen in a lot of VR games up until now, is the idea of developers finding transparent ways to help the player so that it doesn't feel like they're getting help, but it just makes the experience feel more comfortable, more natural.
Absolutely. And one of the things that we knew we wanted to go out with this game was we want to spend a lot of time making sure that it didn't feel experimental. We wanted, because we know that people love like the smaller VR experiences, trying out little things. But I think that as VR has matured, as the PlayStation VR platform has matured, players want a meatier experience. And this is the extra time that we got recently has really allowed us to kind of smooth out the rough edges and build on all these learnings that other VR developers have taken and have a game that just feels really natural and really polished too.
Yeah, yeah. I love that sunset shot that we were seeing there. Is it sunset or sunrise? Which way are we facing?
This is a sunset.
Sunset. Okay.
Yeah, because we're out here in Malibu here, nice. And yeah, our team just did an incredible job.
It looks gorgeous. Yeah, even on this giant TV, it looks awesome. It looks really clean. We are in some sort of aircraft. What are we seeing now, Ryan Payton?
So we are in Tony Stark's private jet. We wanted to, in the demo, not only have kind of gameplay action missions, but also have cinematic moments to show off that the game has, both a really great story and great action moments. But for the sake of this video, we figured, hey, let's just like show a little bit of a teaser. We don't want to spoil the story too much, and then we're just going to kind of cut into a little bit later. In this
can we at least open the suitcase? It's telling me to open the suitcase. I gotta
all right. Well, let's do it.
Okay, and then we'll. Okay. Oh, nice little.
Well, we got to
tease there.
show a little bit of it, right?
Okay, maybe a little bit.
All right, there we go.
Who knew there was an Iron Man suit in there?
That's so cool. Okay, let's skip ahead a little bit.
All right, so it looks like things got a little bit worse for Tony. Since
Yeah. What's that? The meme that escalated quickly?
Yeah.
Things have definitely escalated
Yes, it has.
rather quickly here.
And so, yeah, Tony is free falling out of his damaged private jet without his suit.
That's not good.
But what is like more Iron Man than falling out of this out of airplane, having to suit up in midair?
Yes.
And
I love it.
We took like the big inspiration from the films, obviously, but also back to like the Demon in a Bottle comic book series back in the late '60s.
That really is just like the most Iron Man thing. Like, let me relive that sweet scene where
Yep.
the suit comes to him.
We knew we had to do it, especially in VR. It just has this really great feeling,
Yeah.
and also a terrifying feeling as you're as you're going closer to the ground.
Yeah. How you feeling, Ryan Darcy?
I'm all right. I think I'm going to be safe.
You good? Okay.
He's played this once or twice.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, we wanted to have like a classic kind of Iron Man suit up sequence, and this leads into the second big mission that we have in the demo. The demo it's a really robust demo. It's got 2 campaign missions plus some optional missions as well, and lots of areas for players to kind of test their skills. But this mission we're about to jump into is one of the more set piece types of missions.
Oh, nice.
It's less about kind of flying around wherever you want to fly, and more about kind of like this kind of epic set piece as you're trying to rescue this jet that Pepper Potts is on that just got attacked by our main villain in the game.
Yeah. Seems pretty important.
Yeah, it's very important. Yeah, we can't let Pepper, fall at the hands
Can't
of
let
one
bad
of our
things
big,
happen
yeah,
to
one of-
sweet
one of our
Pepper.
big villains. All right, so Tony's back in business. He's got his suit equipped or his armor equipped, and then
Got a plane to catch.
How fast can you cover 1,500 meters?
We'll see about that.
This fast.
This fast?
Can you hear
Oh, that's cool. Just flying straight through the title. I love it.
yeah, that was one of the things we learned through VR development is that 2D UI just kind of printed on the screen is less exciting than having it in the world.
Yeah.
And we've actually been taking a lot of that kind of detail that we initially put into the HUD and are starting to put in the world. Like you see the scanning, for example.
Yeah.
It's easier for players, and it feels a lot more immersive as well.
Yeah, HUD is really interesting. It seems like an interesting thing to address in specifically this game, because in the world of Iron Man, he is constantly surrounded by that HUD at all times. So how did you like see that as just an easy excuse to like, well, okay, well, obviously we can just put HUD stuff on the screen because it's Iron Man? Or
It's interesting because at the beginning of development, our instinctual move was to just add all this extraneous detail in the HUD, because
Yeah.
that's what you kind of see in the films and in the comics, right? But we found that when you actually play in VR, it's closer to what it's like in real life, and that your eyes look at different planes, and it's actually really difficult to read a lot of meters and numbers on the sides of your periphery.
Yeah.
So that's why we've been moving a lot more things into the actual game space. That being said, though, it does feel cool to have all these things in your periphery,
Yeah.
even if you're not necessarily looking at them all the time.
yeah,
So here we're finally introducing the player to one of our early and easier enemies. This is where players are starting to learn how to fly and shoot, which is really core to our game and really unique to our game too. And that's why it's taken us so long to, I think, really nail the core mechanics and introducing the core mechanics, because there's not a lot of games out there where it allows you to fly at 250 miles an hour and
Yeah.
shoot repulsors out of your palms, right?
just back to the UI and the HUD for 1 second.
Sure.
I love that you've got some of the parallax stuff going on with it, so that it gives it more of that 3D feel. I can only imagine we're just looking at a 2D output
Right.
of the game right now, but I can only imagine in the headset that must look much cooler.
Absolutely, yeah. It's one of those challenges of showing off the game on a 2D presentation,
Yeah.
right? Where the game just looks and feels so much better and more immersive when you're in the PlayStation VR headset.
That's true of any VR game.
Absolutely.
Like anytime you try to show off a VR game, it's like, no, but trust me, everybody, it's way cooler once you're inside the headset.
Yeah, and it's absolutely true, So right here we have just like one other kind of wave of enemies. But one of the things that I think is good to point out is that working with Marvel, one of the things they helped us understand midway through development, with the cool rocket punch,
So
Ryan
cool.
Darcy, is that being about what's like to be an Iron Man and being a superhero isn't just about just punching and shooting your way through problems. It's about also doing heroic things. So
Yeah.
midway through development, we actually added a number of elements to this mission, for example. Like you saw a little bit earlier where Ryan Darcy was putting out the fire through fire suppressants that are coming out of his repulsors. We've been adding a lot of those kind of elements that are unique one-off elements that are really difficult to build but feel so good in VR. It's that
Nice.
it's that physicality of kind of putting out the fire. We're going to see something else like this coming up pretty shortly. So it's not, again, just about action and just beating things up, right?
Yeah, so many games are just like about destroy, 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 but you have to actually save people in here if you're a superhero, right?
Exactly, right? And when you're like knee deep in development, you kind of sometimes lose the forest for the trees, and that's why it's really great to be partnered with Marvel in this game, because they remind us of like what a quintessential great Marvel game is like, right?
How involved have they been? Has it been like, them coming in and like, asking you to adjust lots of things, or do they kind of like trust you to make the game and then they make broader?
Yeah, I think the relationship has really evolved over the 3-year development of the game.
Yeah.
Early on, it was about teaching us what making a great Marvel product is all about. And then over time, it's more about just kind of checking in and helping us when we have questions or help guide us in the right direction. But yeah, it's been a really fun partnership, and we've learned a lot from those guys.
Speaking of the Marvel collaboration, tell me about some of the suits that we'll see.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So yeah, speaking of which, Iron Man has this brand new armor called the Impulse armor, which is unique to this game. And we worked with this really famous Marvel designer named Adi Gravnov, who did just an incredible job helping us. Yeah, he's very fast too, which helps with development. And what he did with our armor is just really remarkable, and it's unique to our game.
Nice.
And it's not just a static armor either. Like, players will go back to Tony's garage, they'll be able to customize the armor, swap in different weapons, and also apply different custom decos, right? These different kind of skins, if you will.
Oh, cool. Oh, so you're alluding to like unlocking them like by way of in-game challenges?
There's various ways to unlock the custom decos, as well as the different augments and weapons that you can apply to your Impulse armor as well.
Sweet.
And here what we're seeing is the skull. It's one of a little bit harder enemies that have shields, and requires players to learn how to not only fly and shoot, but also dodge when they're coming in at you.
Oh, yeah.
Like, for example, right there. Nice, right?
Oh, that was a nice like side boost.
Yeah, exactly.
That was cool. Oh, nice. Do that rocket punch to open them up.
Yeah, it just feels really great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Boom.
Oh, it doesn't get old.
Nice.
Ryan Darcy, is that rocket punch getting old for you yet?
Oh, no, I love it every single time. That's great.
You have something good when one of our QA testers tells me I could rocket punch all day, and he literally does do that all day. So.
Oh, it's amazing. Anyway, you paying him for that?
Yeah, of course we're paying.
He just sits there.
Yeah, shout outs to Matt Monroe, who's been doing a great job testing the game. But here, so we've got a little bit of trouble here. Another enemy that we're introducing here, named the Revenant, is putting Pepper in even greater peril here. So Tony's been hacked out of his suit for momentarily. Friday helps him get back online, and now it's up to this kind of epic conclusion to this mission as Tony has to boost his way down to this jet that's facing imminent danger.
I think Ryan's got this.
I don't know. There's a lot of debris in the way.
There is. Pepper's counting on you. Oh man, something like clanged against the armor there.
And thankfully, we've got Pepper, we've got Friday here to assist.
Yeah.
And that's one of the fun things about working on this game as well, is that we get to integrate a lot of really famous and fun Marvel characters.
Yeah.
In addition to like Nick Fury, we've shown off, Ghost, and we've got a couple other characters that we haven't yet revealed.
Ooh, secrets.
Yes.
Can't wait to learn more. Can he do it? There she is.
All right, Ryan Darcy.
I'm gonna make it.
Moment of truth.
Take my hand!
Tony!
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pepper saved.
Nice job. Whew. Action-packed. Nice.
All right,
Good
so
job.
that's the conclusion of one of these main campaign missions in the demo. Ryan Darcy, thanks for doing just a great job showing off the game. Justin, thank you so much for all the great questions. And,
Thank you for being here and for shedding so much light on the development of Marvel's Iron Man VR.
PlayStation